challenges, in our opinion, seem to have overwhelmed our security institutions.
The governors are supposed to be the state security officers of their state.
There is need for us to at least engage the traditional rulers.
We need to do something about our porous borders.
We have to own it from the unit level to the ward level to the local government to state.
Mr. President, the importance of today for us is for us to take action.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Welcome to the program Inside the Senate. I am your regular anchor, Hussaina Amina Aboki. The Committee on Special Duties continued its oversight last week with a visit to the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. We have a report on this in this episode of Inside the Senate. Another of our report is on a public hearing on the National Biotechnology Development Agency Act, as well as the commitment of the National Assembly to making laws that would encourage private enterprises that would further grow the nation's video production and creative sector. These, alongside a review of Senate's intervention to complement the federal government's campaign against corruption, form our package this week. Stay tuned for details after the break. Don't go away.
The Senate to send a message to the President
to reap opportunities from that.
Raise a matter of urgent public importance, and we are aware that when this particular motion comes up
For a longer term development,
arise to second the motion.
Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Welcome back. In continuation with oversight duties of government agencies under its supervision, the Senate Committee on Special Duties visited the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development on Tuesday, the 30th of August 2022. On arrival at the headquarters of the ministry in Abuja, committee members were ushered into the conference room where they met the Minister Sadiya Umar Farouk. First to speak was the committee chairman, Senator Yusuf Abubakar Yusuf.
To oversight, the ministry in terms of the budgetary provisions for 2021-2022. Surpluses, if there are some areas that we need to clarify in terms of budgetary allocations. So also, in the area of policies, there might be some policy, challenges that, we might have.
The minister gave a response.
The ministry expresses its appreciation to the chairman and distinguished members of this committee on special duties for the cooperation and support given to us towards ensuring it effectively delivers on its mandate, especially in addressing Nigeria's humanitarian challenges and in advancing the poverty reduction and social inclusion agenda of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari's administration.
Next was the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Nasir Sani Gwarzo.
They have achieved a lot, and Nigerians have benefited from this initiative of creating this ministry. But one thing I observed is most of it is not known, or some of it is not known to the public. And this is the right time, as you are doing oversight, not look at only the funds spent, look at the actual targets achieved.
The ministry is doing well, but like a liver twist, we will always, want, you to do better. And that is a collective responsibility, and that's why it will be available if there are challenges of funding and what have you. Our chairman is very capable, and he knows what steps to take in the parliament to ensure that the needed funding is given to this sector.
It was also resolved to increase the frequency of interactions like this for the benefits of all Nigerians. Back in the National Assembly, same Tuesday, the 30th of August 2022, the Committee on Environment hosted stakeholders to a public hearing on the National Biotechnology Development Agency Act 2015 Amendment Bill 2022. The report is compiled and presented from our studio.
Be present in this public hearing.
Declaring the hearing open, Senate President Ahmed Lawal spoke on the importance of the hearing and expressed confidence that stakeholders would do justice to the bill. He was represented by the Chairman Senate Committee on Primary Health Care and Communicable Diseases, Senator Chukwuka Utazi.
The caliber of the officials gathered here today for deliberations and consideration of the bill is an indicator of the importance of the bill in the regulation of operations in this sector of our national life. I enjoin you all to be highly patriotic and allow overriding national interests and the safety of humanity and the environment to be your paramount consideration in your advice and inputs to this committee.
The Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has passed.
Vice Chairman of the committee, Senator Ibrahim Hassan Hadeja, who represented the Chairman, Senator Ike Ikweremadu, gave the welcome address.
The committee, as part of its legislative process, is organizing this public hearing for the purposes of obtaining expert and technical advice and inputs of all stakeholders, operators, regulators, and practitioners in the field to enable it take an authoritative, well-informed, and effective decision on the bill and report same to the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in full session.
Stakeholders took turn to express their opinions on the bill.
This law is not necessary. Nigeria has 11 research institutes. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture policy on agriculture recommends the use of biotechnology to drive the agricultural sector. We have a full-fledged National Biotechnology Development Agency. We have a National Biotechnology Policy, the DG stated, all to use technology to drive our new world. Green economy, bioeconomy can never be achieved under this law. On this note, Mr. Chairman, I want to crave this National Assembly to do this nation the best by jettisoning this amendment.
Farmers of Nigeria embrace biotechnology because, one, it will take us out of poverty, because productivity means more to sell surplus that you have in your house, and then we can give food security to the vast nation of Nigeria. I call on everybody here to embrace biotechnology and to dissuade the people clamoring for amendment to the National Biosafety Agency management, because it is inimical to the attainment of food security.
There's a saying that says you don't fix what is not broken. And I say this on account of the fact that Nigeria was the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to really make good progress around biosafety regulation. And we've seen through that process 3 crops come through, BT cotton, PBR cowpea, and very soon BT maize. And throughout that process, we've not heard of anything that has gone wrong in that process. And this is why I'm imploring us to reflect on that saying that you don't fix what is not broken.
At the end, the committee promised to compile all presentations in a report to be presented to Senate's plenary for more legislative action.
Let's now open our notebook segment. Stand by for our topic of the week.
The rules guiding membership of Senate committees provide that each special and standing committee shall comprise of no less than 5 members and more than 10 members, including the chairman and vice chairman. The rules also provide that no senator shall serve as a member of more than 3 committees, while committee chairmen shall not serve as members of more than 2 other committees. The rules, however, do not cover the selection committee, of which none of its members is allowed to be a committee chairman, but can serve as a member of other committees as provided for by the rules.
Welcome back. Deputy Senate President Senator Obi Omo Agege says the National Assembly would more than ever before be committed to making laws that would encourage private enterprises that would further grow the nation's video creative and production sector. This, according to him, is in view of the fact that Nigeria's potential in raw content and video productions has not been properly and effectively harnessed to monetize Nigeria's leadership position in the African continent, specifically in areas of Nollywood activities, film productions, hip-hop, Afrobeat alongside activities of its comedians. He disclosed this at the 2022 Award and Exhibition Ceremony organized by the Nigerian Electronic Media Content Owners Association on the 29th of August 2022. He observed that video has now overtaken the conventional television as it enjoys more patronage by younger people who make up a large percentage of the entertainment market. According to him, this much is buttressed by the outcome of a recent survey conducted in 42 countries, revealing that expected video consumption over the next 3 years will grow by 45% on mobile, 45% on internet-enabled TV, 40% on tablets and 36% on laptop computers, while the conventional TV recorded 0%. With the result of this survey, he said, Nigeria with its film, video as well as other productions industry is capable of making money through production, distribution and royalty collection. The award is the biggest event for electronic media content and the film industry, which is expected to hold yearly to bring stakeholders globally in the media industry under one umbrella to buy, sell, collaborate, aggregate and exchange ideas around the content production and development. Welcome back. In continuation of our review this week, we will bring you reports on the efforts of the 9th Senate to complement the federal government's campaign against corruption. Report on this is compiled and presented from our studio.
One such effort was the consideration of the Proceed of Crimes Bill 2021, an executive bill that seeks to, amongst other things, provide a comprehensive legal and institutional framework for the recovery and management of proceeds of crime or benefits derived from unlawful activities, as well as harmonize and consolidate the legal provisions on the recovery of proceeds and benefits of crime.
Establishment of an asset recovery and management unit in the Federal Ministry of Justice. 2. The opening of a central asset recovery that is final for future account and a central interim for future account in the Central Bank of Nigeria. This is to enable the federal government of Nigeria to track all recovered assets and the benefits derived therefrom.
The bill drew support and commendation for the federal government, particularly from the opposition.
This is one of those bills that I want to commend the APC government for taking a step in the right direction so that we can deal comprehensively with the matter of corruption in Nigeria.
After second reading, the bill was referred to the Committee on Anti-Corruption to report back as soon as possible. Also considered were 2 anti-money laundering bills of similar content. The first was a bill for an act to repeal the Money Laundering Prohibition Act 2011 as amended and enact the Money Laundering Prohibition and Prevention Act 2021, sponsored by Senator Sadiq Suleiman Umar.
Many public servants who are entrusted with managing public funds for the benefit of the larger society are often accused of creating phantom companies, overpricing of contracts, use of fronts to pay for contracts not executed or poorly executed, while others have been accused of cutting away huge sums of public funds and stashing it in foreign bank accounts. Apart from the need to address shortcomings in the Principal Act, the bill is further justified on the principle that money launderers and terrorists have not become familiar bedfellows, leveraging on latest technological advancements to design money laundering schemes that are mutually beneficial to terrorists and money launderers.
The second bill, which also carries the same title, a bill for an act to repeal the Money Laundering Prohibition Act 2011 as amended and enact the Money Laundering Prohibition and Prevention Act 2021, was sponsored by Senator Suleiman Abdul Kwari.
The enactment of this bill will further resolve the institutional issue of Special Control Unit against money laundering. While the money laundering bill, on one hand, seeks to introduce certain supervisory and enforcement measures, including imposition of administrative penalties by the supervisory authorities on financial institutions, designated and non-designated businesses and professions for breach of any requirement imposed by law. It will therefore, on the other hand, establish Bureau for Money Laundering, which is to be domiciled in the NFIU instead of being managed by EFCC.
The bills were debated concurrently, read second time, and referred to the Committee on Anti-Corruption to report back to Senate. Next was a bill seeking the protection of witnesses and whistleblowers from intimidation and threats that will enable them reveal financial and other crimes. A request for the consideration of this bill was contained in a letter from President Buhari on Wednesday, the 19th of January 2022. It was titled A Bill for the Establishment of the Legal and Institutional Framework to Protect Witnesses and Related Persons with Responsibilities for Carrying Out All Administrative Duties Relating to Witnesses in Disclosures Made for Public Interest 2022 and presented by Senator Suleiman Abdul Kwari.
One of the major causes of the inability of successfully prosecute successfully criminal cases in our courts is the lack of witnesses. Many of them face intimidation and threats, just as prosecutors most times do not have the funds and management framework to safely bring witnesses to testify in court. The passage of this bill into law will fill this gap, as well as fulfill some of the country's international commitments to various conventions and protocols.
The bill was supported in the debate that followed.
I'm particularly delighted, Mr. President, that there is a provision in Part 6 which criminalizes certain acts relating to false and misleading unlawful disclosures, false representation, and unauthorized access to a witness. This will be in conformity with international requirements.
I support that this this will be read and committed to the committee for proper legislative duties.
After second reading, the bill was referred to the Committee on Judiciary Anti-Corruption to report back as soon as possible.
On Wednesday, the 26th of January 2022, Senator Suleiman Abdul Kwari also sponsored the bill for an act to repeal the Public Complaints Commission and enact the Public Interest Disclosure and Complaints Commission 2022. Let's take a report on this, compiled and presented from our studio.
Senator Suleiman Abdul Kwari, who is the chairman, Senate Committee on Anti-Corruption, spoke on what the bill seeks to achieve.
The passage of this bill into law will fill this gap, as well as fulfill some of the country's international commitments.
One of the most interesting parts of this bill is the fact that we are going to repeal and expand the Public Complaint Commission Act of 1975 to accommodate the public interest disclosure. So we don't necessarily have to come up with a new commission, but to expand an existing commission and make it more focused in the war against anti-corruption. And I think with this, I will appeal to all my colleagues to support this bill, as it's very critical in an anti-corruption war.
I want to also appreciate the hard work of the sponsor of this bill, and the concise way in which he has written the lead debate, straight to the point. That makes our job very easy.
Related to this was another bill for an act to make comprehensive provisions for seizure, confiscation, forfeiture and management of properties reasonably suspected to have been derived from unlawful activities 2022.
This bill is time sensitive and when passed will enable us to recover lots of assets overseas The main objective of this bill is to provide for the establishment of a department in the relevant organizations to manage forfeited assets, as well as provide for an effective legal and institutional framework for the recovery and management of proceeds of crime, as well as civil forfeitures in non-conviction based sentencing.
In supporting the passage of the bill, senators made some observations.
Between the two words, confiscation and seizure, which one is wider in scope? You confiscate first, then you seize. Then you approach the court to get an order for forfeiture. So even in the arrangement here, we need to rearrange and say confiscation, seizure, and forfeiture.
The critical caution I thought we should be making here is the issue of fair hearing in our constitution that talks about that person who is presumed innocent. Because by the time you decide to say somebody has done something unlawful or illegal, where you have not been able to prove that, and you are already taking the steps that a law court ordinarily in our present jurisprudence should be taking, I think it's like putting the cart before the horse.
In this Senate, we have passed so many anti-corruption laws to fight corruption. Are we amending sections of this law or creating entirely a new commission? This provision is silent on that.
After debate, the bills were read second time and referred to the committees on anti-corruption as well as ethics and privileges to report back soonest.
We will close the program as usual with our profile segment. Stay tuned for our Senator of the Week.
Senator Buhari Abdul Fattah represents Oyo Central Senatorial District of Oyo State under APC. Born in Ghana in 1965, he attended St. Peter's Primary School and Real Amas Secondary School, all in Kumasi, Ghana. He obtained a diploma from the University of Legon in Ghana, after which he proceeded to the University of Ilorin for a Bachelor of Science degree in Finance Administration and ABU Zaria for a Master's in Business Administration, as well as University of Abuja for his PhD. After working successfully both in the public and private sectors and rising to very high positions, Senator Buhari joined politics and won election to the House of Representatives, serving from 2003 to 2007. He contested to the Senate in 2007 under PDP, but lost. He then took appointment as Special Advisor to the Oyo State Governor on Water Resources and later as Commissioner of Water Resources. He contested and won election as Senator representing Oyo Central Senatorial District on the platform of APC in the 2015 general elections and served till 2019. He contested and won again in the 2019 general elections and is still serving. In the 9th Senate, he holds the position of Chairman, Senate Committee on Land Transport and Vice Chairman, Committee on ICT and Cyber Crimes, as well as a member of several other committees. His legislative interests include ICT development, economy, education, and agriculture.
With this, we end this week's edition of Inside the Senate. Do follow us on any of our social media platforms showing on your screen. And don't forget to send in questions and comments for your elected representative in the Senate. Thanks for watching and bye for now.